Are there ever tasks in your life, business, or workflow that you just hate? Things that are repetitive, like sending emails, sending out messages, or posting on social media? Yeah, I hate all that too. In this video, I'm going to share 21 amazing automation ideas that will allow you to be a productivity machine. These automations are truly set it and forget it and will allow you to focus on the more important and enjoyable stuff. Hello, I'm Mike Powers, and I talk about everything from business to tech and how you can get the most leverage out of everything you do. For this video, I'm going to be showcasing the automations on Zapier, which is a fantastic tool that allows you to automate nearly anything with all the programs you already use. And trust me, it's worth looking into if you want to save some time. After you've logged into Zapier, which you can start using for free, you can begin to create your automations. To make an automation, you can click on the Create Zap button. You can click on these building blocks here to add any kind of service you like. So enough talk, let's get into the automations. If you hate having to remind your team to get on meetings or go to events, this automation is perfect for you. What this does is, let's say you have a weekly meeting with your team. What it will do is it will send a message into a particular Slack channel and also add an event in Google Calendar. This saves you the hassle of having to remind people week after week to join specific things, and it just automatically does this while you focus on the more important stuff. Another great automation that I absolutely love is content automation. You can see here I have a ton of social channels linked to this one social channel, and what happens when a new post on Instagram is made, it creates a Pinterest pin, it creates a tweet in Twitter, it creates a post on LinkedIn, and it also creates a post in my Facebook page. And this is really great if you want to streamline your workflow in a specific social media channel. So let's say you're very familiar with using something like Instagram or maybe even Facebook. You could just post on that channel as you normally would, and then all the other social channels are taken care of without you having to do any additional work. Once again, it's super easy to set up, and this one automation can multiply your reach by growing your presence on every platform automatically. Another automation idea that you can use is to automate your content that you post on YouTube and publish it to your other social media management platforms. As you can see here, I have this trigger for YouTube, which will happen whenever a new video is posted by your specific account, and that can either go to your Buffer account, your SocialBee account, your Hootsuite account, Social Pilot account, and you can streamline your workflow. So all you have to do is post a video on YouTube, and then you can have it upload to something like Buffer or Hootsuite. Then you can add that to your content calendar to have that video go up to all your other social media platforms. This is a really great way to automate your workflow if you like using these social management tools. I found it's great for things like publishing shorts content, which can now be posted on almost every social media platform you can think of. You can also use these automations to make automatic backups for any kind of content or any kind of information you use in your business. For this example, I have a trigger whenever a new video is uploaded, and it will actually save that YouTube video to a Google Drive to then can be used to maybe send to an editor or send to your teams, or just keep it in a backup for safekeeping. You can really use this with any kind of information you use in your business or life. For instance, if you have like a lead sheet or maybe some contact info or some message channels that you want to save, you can connect that workflow into Google Drive and then have it save that file in a specific folder to back up your stuff so you never have to worry about losing any of your data. Another automation that I really like is using a service like Trello to automatically make calendar events. You can see in this workflow here, I have a Trello card update information. So whenever you or someone on your team makes a card for a new event, Zapier will automatically make a new column in Google Sheets, which will allow you to keep track of all the events that are made, as well as make a new calendar event in Google Calendar. This makes it super easy so you don't have to manually type in all your calendar events whenever you want to meet with your team or meet with a client. And this can be used with anything. I just picked Trello as an example. You can even use it with Notion or Asana or Monday or Slack or any other kind of channel you want to connect to create calendar events automatically. This is another automation that I really like, and it's kind of like one of those easy quality of life automations that you can implement in your business or service, and that's to create a cancel notification whenever someone cancels a meeting you have and you want to reach out to them, maybe suggesting a new time that they can meet up at. In this workflow, I have if an inventory canceled in Calendly, it sends an email to that person with maybe some value or a follow-up date to meet with them, and it also deletes that event that was scheduled in your Google Calendar. So if this person were to cancel their meeting with you, it will be reflected in your Google Calendar automatically. Another great automation you can implement into your business, and this is actually creating automated reports for your company. So I have here a schedule by Zapier that you can make trigger every month, every week, day, or hour whenever you want to send out reports to your company. And what that will do is that will connect to maybe your HubSpot or Salesforce, and then it will create a report for you and then send that into your Slack channel so you can update your teams on how your company is performing and what kind of metrics you want to hit for your upcoming goals. This is a really good automated way to keep your team motivated and remind your team of the goals you're trying to achieve without having to worry about making these reports and submitting them to the channels yourself. This automation takes care of that all for you. Another social automation, and this is one that's specifically tailored to your teams, is you can actually post your content from your social channels directly into your Slack channels to inform your team on any updates or content that you're putting out. So you can see in this workflow, I just have a tweet in Twitter. Whenever you tweet something on Twitter, it sends a message in Slack of that tweet. And next, we have a great automation if you want to streamline leads into your CRM systems. Basically, a Typeform entry trigger that goes right into creating a contact in HubSpot. So whenever a potential client inputs their name, email, and phone number, it immediately gets made into a contact on HubSpot. You can even further this by ending an automation to send a message into your Slack channel, so let people know that a new customer has entered the management system. You can even do things like send follow-up emails and triggers for other kinds of content. Maybe you want to have an automated text message system whenever someone signs up on your form. It eliminates all the redundancy of just moving data around to get people connected with your sales teams or your automated message workflows. This next automation is great if you hate handling customer service. What this workflow does is it basically starts with an email parser, which whenever someone sends you an email, maybe on your support email, it'll actually go through and parse that email and send it into specific Slack channels based off the type of message that person sent. So for instance, maybe a customer sent an email in on troubleshooting. You can have a tag that's sent in the subject of your email that actually gets parsed by the email parser here that sends a troubleshooting message into your Slack channel so that your troubleshooting department team can help that customer with whatever issue they're having. You can also have it create a card in Trello if you want. That's how you manage your teams. There's really so many ways you can take this, but this email parser trigger here is really key if you want to separate and organize your inbound emails really easily. This next automation is great if you run any kind of product store like on Shopify. And what this basically does is whenever a new customer maybe purchases something or signs up on your store, what this does is it can set a delay after someone signs up or purchases something for maybe a couple hours or a couple days, and sends an email to them following up on their service, suggesting some products, or even just providing more value to give to your customer. This is a great automated way to warm up your customer base. And all you have to do is set up this workflow once, and then it will trigger every time whenever you get a new customer or client in the pipeline. If you guys are finding any value out of this video so far, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. It really does help me out. Thank you to everyone who subscribed so far. But anyway, back to the video. I think one of the key things with automations is being able to transfer and automate your data as easily and efficiently as possible so the right information gets to the right people. And what this automation does is anytime a contact is updated or created, what it does is it actually adds a row in Google Sheets so you can have an entire Google Sheets doc of all your customers and all your clients, and then it sends a message in a particular Slack channel for your team to reach out to that person, or maybe send a chain of automated messages. This is a great automation because it basically gives that customer that just signed up with you some instant feedback of the kind of relationship they're building with your brand or community. Another clever automation that I like to use is actually set up a trigger from Shopify every time an order is made and create a new invoice in something like Zoho's invoicing service. So what this does is whenever someone buys something, it automatically creates an invoice. And you can even have another workflow here to send it to maybe like your sales team, or you can send a copy of an invoice to your customer if they don't like the one that Shopify already provides. You can customize this to fit your workflow any way you want to make creating and handling invoices as simple as possible. No more having to manually create them. We now have tools like Zapier to just do it for us. This next automation is a clever one, and it's great if you're onboarding a remote employee, a freelancer, or maybe an affiliate partner. That's actually to use an automated email workflow with a bunch of content and information to help onboard your new employees to your business. So what this does is, let's say you get a new user in your Monday.com account. What it will do is send out an outbound email, maybe saying, hey, welcome to the company, thanks for joining, as well as adds a Google Calendar event, as well as sends a Google Calendar event to maybe meet with you on a particular time that they set up. And then it sends a follow-up email maybe 2 or 3 days later, remind them to go to that event. And they can also fill out a type form of what they thought of that event with maybe a more informational email afterward, helping your client get onboarded into your company a lot easier, smoother, and better. This saves the hassle of maybe your HR or marketing department having to email all of your clients, customers, affiliates, whoever. Getting clever about stuff like this is how you can really make your teams more efficient and providing the most value to the most amount of people in the least amount of time. This is another Shopify automation for when you get a new order or a new customer in your Shopify store. And once again, it doesn't have to be a Shopify store. It could be your Squarespace or a Wix store. Zapier supports a lot of different services, but with this particular workflow, what it does is as soon as you get an order, maybe you have your Salesforce CRM create a new lead, send an email to that lead, maybe send a message in Slack, create a new contact in HubSpot. If you like using these CRM systems and you want to automate it with your store, this is a great way to automatically do that. So you're not flipping between multiple different services trying to send emails to all your clients. You can even do things like add them to an email list, include upsells, include consulting, contacts information, anything you can think of. There are a ton of of great ways you can automate this workflow to make your customers more valuable. This next one, once again, involves Slack, and that's basically whenever someone posts a particular message into a Slack channel, what you can do is have it automatically create a project in Todoist or create a project in Asana, or maybe even want to connect Google Calendar. So that as soon as something is created, so that as soon as one of your team members mentions something about a meeting or a project you guys want to do, it instantly gets added to an idea board. It's just another simple automation to add to your total workflow to make your entire process more streamlined and more efficient. Another fun automation that I think every product-based business owner should add is an automation that sends outbound emails whenever someone has a new order in Shopify. So let's say someone orders a high-ticket product on whatever niche you're in. You can send an outbound email maybe a month or 2 months later, following up, basically asking, hey, do you like the product? How are things going? Maybe send them a free gift. You can send some online content, maybe a PDF, maybe giving some tips and tricks on how to use that particular product. These automated workflows will remind your customers that you actually exist. They'll allow you to actually build and foster that relationship you have with your customers. This next automation is doing something with your surveys once you get a new response with answers from something like SurveyMonkey. So with this automation, what basically happens is you have a new notification with answers in SurveyMonkey, and you can send an automated email reply to that person basically saying, thanks for doing our survey, maybe some more information about your business, and maybe some other links and how they can get connected with you further. You can even have it create a contact in Salesforce, a contact in HubSpot to maybe give to your sales team to follow up with these people, as well as send a message in Slack to maybe motivate your team on getting a new response to your survey. Then you can even wait maybe a couple days or a week and follow up with that survey, maybe saying, hey, would you like to take another survey, or would you like to try this thing? And this is something that will just run in the background as you have your survey up. As soon as you get more answers from your survey, you'll just have an entirely automated workflow that allow you to streamline your business and turn more people into actual paying customers. There's so many ways you can take this SurveyMonkey response. This is kind of a simple outline just to kind of show you what can really be done with Zapier. This is another automation that I think is great and can be easily done in Zapier. That's sending thank you emails whenever someone purchases something or signs up on your website. Once again, I have a Shopify trigger in here, but that can be any kind of form you want. You can send that customer maybe a survey asking for feedback and how they think the customer experience went, as well as send maybe a follow-up email with a personal Gmail, thanking them for their purchase, thanking them for their time, and just keeping that connection with the customer for very minimal effort just by implementing these workflows. It's a great automation that I think is a must-have for all people that run a business or sell anything online. This next automation is specifically for Twitter, and if you do any kind of business on Twitter, this automation is a must-have. And what it does is anytime your company or your brand gets mentioned on Twitter, it sends an automatic Slack message into your Slack channels. So maybe your support team can reply to them, or you want to see all the engagement and things that your customers are talking about on Twitter. It makes it really easy to answer customer questions and feedback and really engage with your community on socials. No more having to go on Twitter and hunt down replies and all the nasty things people are saying about you. You can have it all streamlined right to your Slack channel, so you can go to the tweet and dish out some savage reply to skyrocket your impressions on your business. Another Zapier automation I think is really interesting is actually having notifications on your website if something were to happen to your website. So for this automation, you can use something like Status Cake, which actually sends a notification if your website were to ever go down or be out of service. Whenever it gets an update, it will send a message into your Slack channel. So maybe your IT department can go and handle the issue, or you can freak out and panic and try spamming your hosting provider, trying to find the reason why your website isn't working. This automation will basically take the worrying away for you and give you those updates if anything were to happen. So those are my 21 great automations that you can apply to your business to supercharge your workflow. But yeah, that's gonna be all from me in this video. I'll see you all in the next one.